Hello. It is time to, it's time to find ourselves on Overpass as we see who will actually best each other, because these two teams are very close. We've got PENTA battling it out so far. They've been doing quite well. PENTA definitely much better than I thought. I thought Copenhagen Wolves would stroll into this, and I thought that they would be playing in a really strong Counter-Strike. They'd be able to topple PENTA, but PENTA really stepping it up and showing that their strengths in individual skill can absolutely match the strengths and executes and some of the coordination we've been seeing from Copenhagen Wolves. So now it's all a mishmash of just general Counter-Strike, and I can't really separate one team from another. Will Overpass provide finally a playing field where one team clearly is the superior of the other? I wonder.
I mean, you never know, because I mean, it's been crazy how this has gone. Really, we've said it so many times, but there's been so many switches where it's all of a sudden Penta's looking so crisp and just ripping heads off, and then Copenhagen come in just looking crisp and ripping heads off. And these games have been so close to call that I don't even feel like it's coming down to the map anymore. It's just literally, at times, individual players just having those moments of flair where they can just really just go wild.
Yeah, it's been cool to see JChem. He's playing well. Of course, good stuff as always from Schneider. Crystal, about as expected. Twist also playing pretty darn well. I mean, it's individually across the board. I don't think there's been anything that's too horrendously surprising. On a map like this, we saw, previously we saw that Copenhagen Wolves on their CT sides, they want to get the double ops rolling. It's quite viable to do it on this map. It really depends on the team that you're playing, to be honest, because I would say in the tier 1 level of Counter-Strike, top 6, top 8 teams, I would say it's very difficult actually to necessarily consistently make the double op setup work. It used to be a thing when teams were less able to get the executes in there. It used to be much more viable, and it can still work, but because essentially the way that you would position it is have one of the AWPers around Monster and then one of them around the A side of the map, and that's how it would work. But the Monster AWPer these days is so vulnerable because of the way that teams can execute into the bomb site. You can't really fall back to cover, and you can't really fall back to the barrels. The safest position really tends to be the water area. If there's like a fully fledged push coming into the bomb site, if you've got an AWP and you're stuck there, it's hard to be all that useful. Whereas if you have a rifle, you can absolutely do a lot more dynamic movements to keep yourself alive and make some frags happen. So I feel like Copenhagen Wolves on the TT side, they're going to struggle more than PENTA, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, they were always very keen on that double AWP setup. That's sort of their go-to now and their way to actually hold PENTA back. So the CT side will be a bit interesting, but I mean, T side usually for them they looked very crisp, very strong. They could get those entries, like especially with the side takes, they were very precise. So they might be able to find themselves a bit of an opener on this T side first off.
Funny thing is they were actually moving towards the bomb, but the take of Suez by just a couple players from Copenhagen Wolves actually distracted PENTA away from where the bomb was. So that was actually kind of a nice save that they didn't even probably expect that they were even doing, but it worked out for them. Copenhagen Wolves still with 5 left alive, still with the bomb towards the party area, or playground rather. Looking to get that bomb towards the bomb site now.
I mean, right now in a 4-on-4, this actually favours Copenhagen Wolves really. They're still better off in this position. It just depends what they'll be able to do with it, if they'll be able to actually find another frag, get the entry into the site. They're worming towards B. A little bit of pressure over at mid, they're making their presence known.
It does look like they are gearing it up to bust in. And a quick smoke from a CT and a drop down into water. I wonder if it will provide the assist they need, but JChem will finally take down Schneider. And they do take the bomb site, and the bomb will be planted. That's a really big win, and JChem, he is connecting all day. He will not cease, and now it's looking pretty damn good here. JChem is just so awesome at the moment. Crystal, though, has got some awesome of his own to show, but he has to take down Twist if he wants to win this one-on-one and save the round, and time is of the essence. He does have the kit, though, and Twist will spot him. Rattle off a couple of shots, get his attention. Is he holding? He's got to go for the peek now. Gets Crystal off the defuse. This is a nightmare. Oh dear.
He was just toying with him there to stop him going on the bomb.
Yeah, not all that much really that can be done for Crystal. Twist played that perfectly, and At least for Crystal, he saves his Kevlar and his defuse kit. I guess that's something. Something's better than nothing. Couple Mac 10s. Always like seeing the Mac 10s out there. And triple AK to roll with as well. So would expect a pretty standard anti-eco setup. Penta, of course, decided to go for the Force. And they are holding around the toilets area with 3 players. Now that's going to be the hot zone for Penta if they want to get an early frag into the round and potentially pick up weapons. But as would be expected, this is an anti-eco strat. Copenhagen Wolves are taking to the long ranges. They're taking to distances whereby it's very hard for Penta to find cover, to kind of sneak up on them. It's very hard for them to hide behind any corners. There's nothing really going on there. It's just a couple trees, a couple boulders, and you get yourself onto the bomb site.
Jacob and Co. working their way up long though. Trying to find the pick on there. They've got the advanced weaponry, and Twist gets the first kill onto Schneider, and there's the follow-up, and now that A site's got a bit of a big leak, and everyone is piping their way through.
What? That headshot from Rubino was just absurd. Penta, they're battling back into the bomb site to see if they can get some damage done, and Crispy is rising to the occasion. He gets the 3rd one as well, and suddenly Crispy makes this a winnable round. I never thought that would ever have happened, and looking to see if he can get even more pressure. He's actually attacking into 2 riflers. This guy has completely lost his mind, but Copenhagen Wolves are looking quite steady at the moment. Twist, however, with only 5 HP, it's kind of dangerous, but you'll find the headshot onto Spitty. So lots of damage there by that single 5-7 of Crispy. I was talking about standout individual performances, and I have to say on Penta, he's definitely been standing out, I think, somewhat the most in some of these matches.
Yeah, we've seen some really star stuff coming out, and it's been beautiful to watch. Let's see, you'd expect Copenhagen Wolves here to just plough through all of Penta with absolute ease over at mid. Let's see what's going to go down. Schneider tucked in, trying to be a bit sneaky, goes for a little face, and won't actually get anything for it, but Stavros is able to find the frag onto Rubinho.
So you did basically do the same. Well, they probably think of doing the same thing again, but they're probably worried as well that now having lost a player so early that it becomes substantially more difficult. But at the same time, the best way to deal with a spot like this is by sticking together and just going for it regardless. Just use the Molotovs and flashes as you can to deny that. And they've got Twist in an excellent position here in the connector. This is so important. And that is a really nice bit of spray control there from Twist to find the second headshot. That's going to make things much easier for Copenhagen Wolves. They can push forwards with much more confidence on well, if they find themselves in any trade games, they definitely are going to be really far ahead now. So should be nice for them. JChem can equalize there against Crystal. Even should get the second one. And, well, Crispy killed 3 in the previous round, but he doesn't have a 5-7 this time.
Bomb going down now. Frisbee struggling to do much, completely blind, and offers himself up to ZevSS. They get the extra money as well.
It's a good start for Copenhagen Wolves. Now, buy-in from Penta, and Crystal will afford himself an AWP. Now, there's so many ways to play Overpass. Certain ways which I feel are more effective than others, but you can make a lot of stuff work depending on who you're playing. Now, one of the things that's interesting is how the AWPer likes to play. Now, because this is the first buy round, proper buy round, you would normally expect them to just put their feelers out. What is the default of Copenhagen Wolves against our buy? That's what we want to know first of all. We don't want to try to do anything too crazy. We want to feel out how your defaults look. And this doesn't look very default at all from Copenhagen Wolves. They're just going for a walk straight up A long, and that is going to be kind of problematic if Penta don't catch on to this quickly enough.
Yeah, long area, completely open, just allowing them to do whatever they want to do. They can basically run away with things here, and there's a real struggle right now. Coming up from behind. They should be hearing the noise slightly. I mean, players jumping around, making a lot of noise as they worm their way up. They should realise what is going on as well, with the flashes going over now. Clocked on, it is long, and the spray going down from Stavros. Was able to get one, but it's not quite enough. Crystal has to really do some damage here. He's able to try to find the follow-up frags. He's done a fair bit of work for the team, but the bomb will go down, and Twist chimes in with a huge play.
Yeah, and that bomb going down in that position really could be the round over for Penta, to be honest. With Twist, despite the fact he's got 9 HP. That said, there is an HE. I think, oh, okay, it's just tossed away there. They really needed that towards the toilets area. That could have finished off Twist. And with Twist gone, this becomes significantly easier. Great flick again. He's so consistent. Schneider's is going to go close, but the best he can really hope to do here is just deny the AWP, because he's not winning the round. He's going to steal away the AWP as well, actually. Looks for the shot as well, and he'll find it, but he won't get the kill. Rubino will survive. He will live to fight another day, and Copenhagen Wolves will force an eco out of Penta. And it was interesting, actually. Again, they didn't actually show a default. There was no mass taking of map control. Take a bit of sewers, take monster, take toilets a little bit with 3 players or so, feel out how the CTs are playing. It was just walk up A long, and apparently that works. Penta force, though. They actually went for the force. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal, he's got the AWP in hand. He's going to have to really go big to sort of pay off that investment, but everyone's just getting completely sprayed down that CT side. Only 3 of them standing. Stavros trying to do some damage with that Famas. Is able to get 2 big frags there to hold off that B site aggression, but is it really enough now in the 2-on-2?
Yeah, so Crystal could potentially get a fast one here if he gets the boost from his teammates. It would be a very nice play. Here he is. Let's see if Crystal can find himself a quick shot. So close to seeing ahead there, but doesn't find anything. And they decide actually they can't get an easy frag. They're going to back away. Now, let's have a look at that. Well, okay, so they save 2 weapons. They're going to have lost 5 in a row. So they're going to be on the 3400, the max 3400 bonus. So, you know, they can actually force up again if they save these 2 weapons. So it's smart.
Yeah, no reason to throw them into the wind. I mean, expensive stuff there on the board, so they're going to hold on to it.
Absolutely. The main curiosity for me is going to be whether or not Penta finds some proper aggressions against what Copenhagen Wolves have been doing, because they've been kind of passive, generally speaking, allowing Copenhagen Wolves just to kind of walk as they and take the fights as they like. This time they're actually going aggressive down into connector. That could be a nice move. Deny that from the T's, deny the map control. And the problem with it though is if you have 2 players there, if Copenhagen Wolves do what they have been doing, which is walk up A-long or walk up toilets, even if you can make the argument, oh, we have a flanking position. Oh, we actually saw the shot. Excellent stuff from Twist. But yeah, the point is that you can get stuck behind the T's and allow them to take the A-bomb site, and that's actually can be kind of bad. But
Spitty taking a lot of damage there as well.
Very defensive round from Copenhagen Wolves. We are going to see, of course, the pressure towards Monster there. This is the first time they've really done it, and Crispy is going to be met with death. 3 players left for Penta, one of which is very low, and they are not looking good in this. This is looking very methodical here from Copenhagen Wolves. That is a nice shot though from Stavros. Good little burst, but he's going to get bursted straight back by Zeves. And Spitty on 13 HP. My hopes for him are not high, considering that there are 3 Molotovs and an HE in the hands of Copenhagen Wolves. So he is going to think about saving the AWP. And Copenhagen Wolves walk away with 6 rounds. This is a huge T side so far from Copenhagen Wolves, and I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what they are able to do here.
No, they're looking so drilled with just the takes and even just the plays that we've been seeing from them on that Copenhagen Wolves side. They've really just been doing so much damage, and it's big stuff. We said they'd look a lot stronger on that T side. They have done throughout the entire best of 3, but now everything's just working. They're landing the shots, they're getting the executes, and they're just running away with things so early on in the game here.
So now it's going to be a question of if Penta can get it done with the Baron now. I mean, they've seen Copenhagen Wolves rounds a few times. The problem is that they can't really draw any conclusions. It's not like they're just playing defaults. They're not really doing that. And then we actually saw this trend on the previous maps, as you mentioned, on their T sides, that they are quite good, but they don't tend to have a very readable default. They decide to go here, there, or execute here or execute there. Or they'll take this bit of map control, take that bit of map control. They don't have we'll take kind of everything, see about picks, and then decide. So it's cool that we'll see Penta mixing it up with this aggression towards A-long. It does pay off. We get 2 there from Schneider, unreturned kills, and finally Penta have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, this is what they needed to do. Sort of switch things up a bit. try find that opener, and Speedy, nice, is able to get that frag onto Twist. I mean, that's the thing. They've really run away with the round here. Essentially, they've won this one. There's not really much that the last two remaining teams can do, but Rubinho still putting up a bit of a fight. He's able to find the frag onto Speedy.
And the interesting thing is that Zevis is walking into the bomb site right now. He's actually in the bomb site. This is a kind of a potentially harmful oversight from the Penta side. You can see that they actually have moved somebody up towards CT spawn here, just as Zevis has moved into bank. And with 40 seconds left, maybe actually he can do something here. If he gets a kill and causes a bit of distraction, gives a window for Rubino, it could be doable. But the problem is that Rubino is in a really awkward position so far away, so Zevis needs to try and create a split possibility with him. And he is going to not find anybody because the CT is in Suez. Perfect position. Had he been in the bomb site, this could be a round win for Copenhagen Wolves, but I don't think it's going to happen right here because he's going to drop the bomber and there's nothing Zevis can do. He's too far away to really make this happen.
Oh, he does get the kill onto Crisby, but that's essentially all he's going to get, and he'll get taken down as well.
That was cool though, because they absolutely had a chance to save that round with that movement of Zevis. It's completely ninja mode, incognito mode, just no one knew that he was there. And well, 6-1, and Penta aren't left with much bank after this buy.
Their economy is not looking too healthy at all, but they need to win this round. They've got to keep the ball rolling here. They can't fall short now at the first hurdle. But a lot of aggression over at mid. All the T's bunching up, looking to be working together here. Molotov coming out from Zavaz.
Okay, we have more passive play from Penta. In the previous round where they won, they got a couple good trades on the A-Long. This time Copenhagen Wolves have decided that they're going to send almost everyone up A-Long. They are not going to fall for the same thing twice. They're not going to allow them to use these extra CTs to trade efficiently when there are more Ts present. They're going to make it happen. One player down for Copenhagen Wolves and 2 for Penta is certainly a big victory for the Ts. Now, with just under a minute to play with, they don't even have to make this complicated. They just keep playing the trades and use grenades well into the bomb site. They should be fine. But Schneider is looking to throw a wrench in the works.
Schneider with the frag down. Zemes firing away, rattling shots off all over the place. Is finally able to take him down. 3 on 2. You open the M4 in play still over on that CT side. Frisbee rotating as fast as little legs can carry him to that A site. They realise they've got to try to hold it back now from the potential T side push, but Jakem is going massive. Rips the head off Crystal. That's the AWPer down, and Frisbee has to really do some damage now in a one-on-one.
But that was so key, getting the bomb down. Now, even if he smokes it off, if Zende knows his positions here, he should be able to spam this quite effectively. We can see him going for it there, but no! Crispy finds the perfect timing, goes right around the side, and the funny thing there is that the paranoia that was created by the smoke made was it Zende? I think it was Zende. Made him really afraid that there was a hold there. But of course he didn't know that he didn't have a kit, and so in reality he can just play the time there, and there's nothing that can be done by Crispy. But of course, yeah, this is that little extra paranoia, just going for the spray, super wide peak. Can't get out of the way in time. So pretty fun way for Penta to win a round, and now they're on 2. So it's not over just yet for them on their teaching side. More aggression towards Connector as well. And this is awkward here for Copenhagen Wolves. They're getting a little bit low on JChem. Yeah, oh, wow. What? That was pretty awesome actually. A really nice, very smart peek and shoot there from JChem. Very smart indeed.
I mean, it looked like they were trapped in between a rock and a hard place, but somehow he's been able to find a frag within there and just gone huge for his team. And now still 5 players left alive on that T side. A few of them a little bit beaten and battered, but they might just be alright.
Yeah, it's a hard ask for Copenhagen Wolves still to actually make it work, though. You know, just because, as you say, you know, Jacob and Twist being so low. The thing that really works for them, though, in their favor is that they have so many grenades. Now, if they can take control of Suez, just executing into B at this point could actually be very effective. And we'll see that control is going to be coming in. Oh, that timing, the distraction was perfect. And Rubino just runs in, guns down Crispy, and the pace is set high. Schneider's in, but he goes down straight away. It's not looking too good here for Penta. They are really struggling, and this cannot happen. Their economy is already in dire straits, and this is just going to send it hurtling down into the abyss. 7-2 in favor of Copenhagen Wolves. They reset Penta. This is looking like it could be a fast one.
Yeah, this is really, really just wild stuff coming out. Now, Copenhagen Wolves ideally should just get this round for free. Should just rip through all of Penta and then be on to claim themselves another round.
Indeed, it's a grim reality, and Penta having to face a double eco, decided to force buy, as you might as well, because again, well, you're going to eco twice anyway, so get it in whilst you can. And well, force buys can actually be quite effective on this map, so that they have that going for them. But you can see from the topology of Copenhagen Wolves that they are quite aware that they are up against an eco at the moment, or rather pistols. They're up against inferior weapons, essentially, is the concept. So they have taken extra precautions, because the way that you get back into an advantage from a disadvantaged position from the get-go, because you have inferior weapons, is usually aggression. That's the typical go-to. So that's what they've been preparing against. But now it's time to take a bomb site, and in they go.
Creeping in all together. There's a little train working. And I mean, that B site has essentially got a welcome mat, and they've just run away with it.
Forward positions as well are really important on this bomb site. It's actually quite hard to get them, but because of the nature of this round, they can do it. But usually you can't stand anywhere near the B bomb site, and this is just a brutal choke point that Zende is holding it. There's nothing you can do there. That pretty much shuts down any retake effort just by itself. You can see Penta just playing versus here, and well, it's not going so well for them, to be honest. Another round for Copenhagen Wolves, and that'll put them up to 8, and they're very likely going to 9, because we are going to be having a another eco coming up for Penta.
Penta, they're struggling right now. They look like they sort of found their footing for a little while, sort of realised what they had to do, and then all of a sudden they've let it slip again. Indeed,
we have not the best money in the world on Copenhagen Wolves, but that's fine. It'd be cool to see an execute from them at this point. Just something flashy and explosive, because I like that sort of thing. Okay, can you read German?
Can I read German?
Yeah.
9.
Okay, because I can't read any of these signs. They're called German signs. Achtung. I know that means attention.
Attention, yeah.
That's almost all.
You lied to me, Dan. You said you can't read German.
Well, I can maybe read just that word. And I like currywurst.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good as well.
Yeah, currywurst is good.
All right, so we're in with the flashy explosive play as requested. Oh yes, into the bomb site, and Copenhagen Wolves are looking quite strong. The pistol players for Penta are going down rapidly as they are being cut through with ease by the AKs, the weapon superiority. That is held by the T side as they claim yet another round. Moving themselves to 9, and how far is this going to go? It's very likely going to double digits, but for how long can they keep this up? Are Penta even going to get themselves off of 2? That's the big problem for them, because at this point the best they are going to be able to do is 6, and considering that there is only 4 rounds left anyway, I don't like their odds at the moment.
It's not the best. Schneider, he has just got completely owned from his underside.
Indeed he has. Indeed he has. Okay, so we can see that Penta are buying up within an inch. I mean, they've got pretty much nothing left. In fact, Schneider has $0 in the bank. This guy needs a loan. And, well, Zevis is, he has the bomb at the moment for Copenhagen Wolves, which is quite cool. You know, usually it's understandable, because usually the bomber is going to be, you want to show that last. And then Zevis is always going to be in the back trying to figure out, okay, just orchestrate everything, figure out who goes where. And as I say this, we get a lot of trades going on towards A long here. Is once again Penta, they tried what worked previously, this time didn't work out quite so well as it did initially. And this leaves Copenhagen Wolves with a wealth of options to work with. They have over a minute, just over a minute, and they can pretty much go anywhere. There is one man in connector. It is Spitty. He is pretty much the only hope here for Penta in this round.
Yeah, he is really just got to go big. He's got to get a couple of picks here to just buy him enough time, and he's heard the footsteps. He's aware they're not quite looking. He gets one. That's all he's going to get before Twist shuts him down. He will see where they're going and relay that information to his teammates, though, and this is going to be interesting. Twist. Might just see the phase coming out from Stavros. 1-on-2.
Oh, this is so smart. Oh no, actually I thought they were actually trying to play the death cam there, but oh my goodness. The bomb is trapped. Oh, it gets the kill as well, and the reload. And with 15 seconds left, Twist is in a position now where he has to kill Crispy. He pretty much just has to go and kill him. Oh, and he can't get it done. So Penta will actually win that round. That was hilarious. I thought we saw genius right there, playing the death cam, you know, running, faking the death cam, but not only doing that, but doing it in a way where Twist stays where they thought he would be.
Yeah.
So that means that he can actually get free kills, which was what happened. And then you would think, okay, they're going to have to stay on A, and the bomb was going towards B, and I'm like, oh, this is genius. But then the bomb started to go A again, so I was like, okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Oh.
Crystal.
If Crystal had armor there, he probably would hit that shot. But Schneider, he has armor, and he's got a sneaky position. He's going in. They're holding grenades. And Schneider's hitting the shots, but apparently that's going to convert into a double. Oh dear. Bad times for Penta once again.
That's not too fantastic. It's not quite what they wanted the outcome of that conflict to be, but that's his life. Over at mid though, there is a player hiding around, just lurking near toilets. If he does go for a face, he could potentially be setting himself up for a frag.
Good stuff here for Copenhagen Wolves. So far that man advantage really will pay off. Working their options, keeping the CTs put on the bomb sites by keeping the pressure up everywhere, but now it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. Crystal is not happy at all. So what just happened is they run out and shoot him in the face straight away. This is going to be Copenhagen Wolves this round, and Penta, they are certainly going to be struggling when it comes to the morale right now, because this is brutal. This is very brutal. This is the 10th round for Copenhagen Wolves guaranteed. And honestly, with this kind of pace, with this kind of consistency, one would expect that they're going to take this potentially towards the 12.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, Copenhagen Wolves, they won the half a while ago, ideally. You know, this is just extra rounds they've been gathering here.
So Stavros will save an AWP, and then it will rest just a flicker of hope into the potential for the future rounds that Penta are about to play with it. And he's going to toss it straight to Crystal, of course, and they're going to force it up. And they've been in spots like this so many times here on the CT side. But it is credit to Copenhagen Wolves just playing really very solid and not overreacting and making some good mid-round calls here. And we will get a rushy style of play from Penta as they move forwards to try to eliminate and deduce what is going on. But Copenhagen Wolves with this is another good anti-eco play, by the way. This fast push into B is very strong as well.
They're very aggressive, and I mean, they've been given that site for absolutely free. Rubinho very close to actually spotting Crisby there, but the CTs, they're going thick and they're going fast. They're charging over to try and retake the site, but it's all a bit wild as Spitty jumps in. Does get one before he's shut off, and Stavros claims another as well.
This is looking quite desperate now for Copenhagen Wolves. They're getting pushed back and they're getting fragged. Getting some trade. Twist is going to have to take a close range shot. He's going to miss that one. It's all down to Zevis, the leader, as that bomb takes away, and somehow Crystal picks that one up, but no kits! Oh dear, they're going to have to save. And I don't know if Stavros can he survive there? I guess he can.
Yeah.
So, goddamn, that is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal situation. And that's what happens when you're in these horrible buys. You can end up being in a spot you could defuse if you had a kit, but no one was able to think that they could buy a kit. So another round here for Copenhagen Wolves to claim. PENTA with one last round to play on their CT side.
Yeah, and I mean, ideally they need this to even just try and give themselves a little bit more to hold on with, because right now if Copenhagen Wolves win pistol, basically PENTA is just dead in the water, and they're not looking very strong right now. They're all just getting completely ripped apart. Tags all over the place coming out from Copenhagen Wolves right now.
Yeah, they're going to be fast up A-Long once again. JChem, he has such a blinding pace. Oh, the jump was nice, but Spitty coolly adjusts his crosshairs and does finish off JChem, the oncoming JChem. It's like a train. The kind of pace that he moves with, just so quick, unrelenting. But Spitty's having to do quite a lot here by himself, picking up a lot of info. 3 on 3. We've seen a lot of spots like this, and Copenhagen Wolves typically come ahead. The round win eventually, and they go.
There you go. Firing shots off, is able to get 2 big frags coming out there, and now it's just Crystal left. He's got the AWP in hand, but he's all the way over on that B-bomb site, and he's got to be quick. Very close now, trying to get himself in position. It's in 1 on 2. The smoke goes out to try hold him back, and there's the Molotov as well.
I was going to say, where Twisted seems to be like ready to T-spawn there. A little bit curious, but it looks like they're running around the container so much. That's actually quite hilarious. they keep switching places around the container. Finally, Crystal's going to find himself Rubino, but there's no time, and there's also a twist. So, 12-3. That is an insanely enormous scoreline there for Copenhagen Wolves on their T side of Overpass. All they have to do is win the pistol, and they've basically won this series, and they'll go forwards to play into their qualifying rounds for this pre-qualifier. It's horribly anticlimactic. We've won, and we can play a qualifier now, guys. Which is a little anticlimactic, but it is for the majors, so I guess that's how it goes. That's how it goes. You've got to play lots of tournaments, but here we go. Pistol round, the all-important. And we've got aggression from both teams. It's going to be a huge battle over by the sewers. A huge battle by the sewers. There was a huge battle by the sewers, guys, I promise. It looks like PENTA have actually managed to pull it out here and come out on top.
Just Twist left with that USP in hand. Will he somehow be able to do some damage out of nowhere? No.
Indeed, it's going to be PENTA holding on by their fingernails. They are walking a nice edge right now, which is not pleasant, I can tell you. So, now we have this Force Spy, and once again, Force Spy is actually quite viable on this map. There is a lot of ways to use them, so many angles to hold. We were talking about the 2 best ways to anti-eco for the Ts. Usually it tends to be the A-long push or the monster execute, the fast monster push with the right ace. You can, and the reason is because you can eliminate a lot of the possibilities for the CTs to essentially stop you from at the very least getting the bomb down, and there's a lot less corners to worry about when you're doing that approach from either monster or the A-long area. So those are the 2 reasons why those are the 2 best. But we'll see PENTA going for this play onto B finally as they make the split onto the site.
It's getting ripped apart there on that eco. Everyone just dropping like flies, and Rubinho, scout in hand. Big tag there over onto Crispy. Very, very low now. Let's scurry that, just try and hide. He really can't afford to face again.
Oh, that was glorious. Rubino, you are a machine! He gets the second one as well. This guy is doing quite a good job, but that bomb is ticking away so fast, there's just surely no way. There's no kit, but those were some stunning shots.
Really just juicy stuff there.
You're going to go down. You go down in style, damn it. Go down in style. Okay, so 5 rounds there for PENTA. 1 more eco for Copenhagen Wolves before the buy can commence. And we have seen their weakness tend to be their TCT side, so who knows what to predict when it comes to their ability to hold in that sense, and also Penta's ability to play this map actually. I would imagine that Penta have played this together more than Copenhagen Wolves. That said, Spitty is the new man.
Actually interesting to see what Copenhagen Wolves are actually going to opt to do here on their CT side. Just a lot of movement right now, really scurrying around, not quite sure where they want to be holding. 4 players over on A now, 1 on B. See the bomb creeping its way up towards mid.
So it's very disconcerting as the CTs because the timing slow down so much when the other team knows that you're on the eco. So you have to really go for some gambles here and there. And they have found themselves towards the toilet, so they actually have a fast flanking action possible. But Penta, when they push into B, they'll leave people in sewers if they decide to do that. But they're actually going back out now towards toilets, so could work out for Copenhagen Wolves in the sense that they can pick up some kills. I did not expect them to be able to do anything more than that. But it's like Penta were just messing around there, just trying to toy with the CTs, using some sounds, making it sound like they're going towards A, but in fact they're going towards B. But the timing for CPH Wolves on the flank is actually really good.
Oh, this could be devastating though. That scout play has just been huge, so if he can do it again, this is just going to be terrible, and the bomb is down. A bit of an awkward position. Crystal's trying to hold him off. Had to switch out to a new AK. Finally finishes up the job there.
Okay, so it's buy time for Copenhagen Wolves, and no, they can't get their double ults that they've been effectively using so far in this series, or at least on the second map at the very least on Cash. But they can get a bunch of rifles and some nades together. Now, aggression is the choice, and I respect that. Actually, quite a lot of aggression towards A. They're going to back away slowly towards toilets now, but they had some quick info early into the round. And with all the nades coming to B, they're going to be on high alert. They've actually rotated 1 player from A towards B already, but Penta aren't moving in. They're just trying to play mess with their rotations. But is it actually going to help or hinder them in the end?
Trying to take those battles, trying to see if they can find the frag. They get the pick onto Robinho, and that is a short player down now. So a little bit more leeway to work with it, but everyone is just waiting around mid ideally. The bomb heading towards A if they can. The flash over to long.
So they must be really careful at this point because okay, sure they have actually, I mean, it looks like I would assume that they're going for that B execute because they still have so many grenades and they're leaving it really late, and yet they are going back to sewers now and monster as well. So we should see a pretty hefty execute here, but it would be nice to see Stavros further up so that he can do more distraction work towards A. Right now he's not very far up. He's might not even be able to stop a rotation if they go through the connected area, but it doesn't matter. We do have the push coming in here. Zende is close. He is getting a double. So 3 versus 3 here still could work out, but that said, it's all on Zevis now, the leader, and he's going to get Tech 9. So interesting that Copenhagen Wolves were not able to hold that. It seemed like they faltered on a few shots here and there, and Penta take full advantage, and now we get another eco. Penta can actually come within 4 rounds now of CPH Wolves.
Yeah, Penta are somehow clawing this back from sort of the edge of defeat. They looked like they were out of the game, but now they're doing really, really spectacularly to start bringing this back.
So aggression on connector from CPH Wolves with the pistols. Not much to really expect. Again, standard anti-eco from Penta. It would be nice to see them go for the monster or the long play. It's so much more consistent because here they were quite spread out. Let's say players did move through sewers. Potentially you can lose a guy on the outskirts. That can very well happen. Or the same thing towards the party and the playground area. You got to be careful about that. That's the big problem. Then weapons get stolen away, and then who knows what on earth is going to happen. But here we go. We have got the buddy system in play with Schneider and Spitty, and they will both succumb to the Rubino TZ. Good stuff there from Rubino, and now 3 on 3 is the order of the day. And with 50 seconds left, Penta can start making a move.
Only twist. He's miles away. He might possibly be able to find a frag onto Stavros. Stavros knows where he is. He's primed and ready and shuts him down. again with the buy though on that CT side, getting the rifles in. Still only the one AWP in play. They haven't been able to really try and go for that double AWP setup just yet.
So Pentas do hold on to grenades quite well for those, to ensure that they can always get onto bomb sites. That's kind of the problem on this map, is that good CT sites can squeeze out a lot of your grenades before you actually get to the bomb sites, and then that actually then tends to make taking A somewhat impossible, and B, it is possible, but it's very much harder without the smokes to play with, or the flashes. So Penta using this slow start to see what they can possibly get done here, and that so far, you know, it's just trying to counteract any aggression. And the thing is that we've not really seen like too many aggressions anyway coming out of the opposition. It's just generally tends to be just passive play. So passive play versus passive play, and you get these slow rounds. Copenhagen Wolves, they don't want to push too far for the info, so that now they're just hanging back, as it's quite late into the round, 40 seconds now. And just only now are Penta anywhere near the toilets and entering the A-long area. So it seems as if Penta are incredibly scared of meeting aggressive play.
Yeah, Penta, they don't really want to try and take these battles, but they realise they're going to have to, and Crystal goes massive there, gets that first frag. That is a real big opening, and that's going to be just what they needed now as the full rotate comes out there. Everyone's charging to try and take that B site, and they're all just dropping with absolute ease. Crystal going huge there with 3 juicy frags on him.
Here we go, we have a pretty hopeless retake possibility. So Twist and Jaken, they wanted to try to back away, but Schneider had other ideas. Such an efficient take onto the bomb site. He had so much freedom to roam the map and create situations where Copenhagen Wolves cannot possibly save. Jaken is not long to this world either, I would assume, now that he's been discovered. Depends how much Penta wants to commit to him, and I would expect their money would be amazing at this point, so there is no reason why they shouldn't try to take down Jaken here. And, well, he is going to manage to survive. Just barely, 6 HP. It was good effort from Penta though. But yeah, we'll be able to see now here that Penta's money is fine. Copenhagen Wolves are struggling to field bias.
Copenhagen Wolves are really, really struggling right now, and it's odd. I mean, this is the thing. This is how it seems to be going for them. They have these really spectacular T-side halves, and then as soon as they get on that CT side, it's as if something just sort of breaks, and they can't really have those sick plays that they have on that T side. They can't win the actual control.
And we have a nice Suez presence from Copenhagen Wolves, which does allow them to have a better understanding of what's going on and have a faster rotation, and then have a way to link into connect, which is important. Like Crispy's challenging it now, but Devers through the door. Does he get it done? He barely does onto Crispy. And you see all the fire going backwards and forwards, and it's such an important point of contention. If you don't have Suez, then it's very hard for you to play aggressively as the CTs or the Ts towards that B site, and for the Ts towards the A as well. You want that fast ability to just drop back into Suez, push A, toilets, get the presence on the map, then fast drop back through toilets, Suez for an execute. That is a very crippling place, the kind of stuff that is very, very good if you're a team like Virtus Pro. They execute that amazingly well, that sort of play. So it's like pressuring inner massively and then going for the super fast play down pop low on train, for example. Very similar concept. But Copenhagen Wolves, they're actually holding on to these positions. They are not letting go. Suez finally, Stavros creates some space, but is it too late? There's a 3-on-2 here with the bomb moving its way towards B.
Firing through the smoke. They're able to get that kill onto Stavros. Crystal goes to the face, gets the kill onto Rubinho before he's finally dropped. And Copenhagen Wolves are now able to get another round on the board. They were struggling for a while, but they've realised what they have to do now. Can they keep it up, or was it just a one-off?
Indeed. Well, more money to play with for Copenhagen Wolves. This would be the time for them to start saying, alright guys, it's time to win now, because Penta are starting to get a little bit out of hand, to be honest, and it's always CT sides for Zeva's teams that seem to be the issue. Always the CT sides. Not sure if it's a coincidence or what it is exactly, but once again they are going to go with a pretty passive and basic opening to this round, just to feel it out and see what is cooking. And so far it's not really anything to shout about, as once again Penta They basically just want to sit and just wait. The purpose, as mentioned previously, is they want to make sure that they're safe against aggression. It is the map where CTs, especially on the A side of the map, try to get aggressive. So they want to be able to play defensively against that. But they also have taken connector and they've pressured into sewers as well. So CTs right now aren't really all that aware of what exactly is possible. But this toilet control is so important.
Doing a good job there to start things off, but he's dropped. Actually, Twist, sorry, is the one that's going to get picked off over at mid, and now all-out aggression on that A site. All the T's taking so much damage, but the CTs as well, and they're being traded fairly evenly right now. The 2-on-2 turns it into a 2-on-1. Zevez up against Spiddy and Schneider. The bomb will be able to go down. Very aggressive, gets the tags over, but he's just slightly missing those shots, firing everything he's got.
Yeah, we do have an interesting spot for Zevez. He needs to go for the clutch. Oh my goodness, that was almost on point. It's so annoying just jumping around. And Zevez has to take him down. Schneider is stopped in the shenanigans. And this is why this spot's so hard. Because basically, the guy knows if you're faking or not, because he can see you looking down, because you have to look down to defuse that. So he can pop out, he'll see if you're looking down for the hold. If you're not, then he'll shoot you. If he, if you are, then he'll shoot you. If not, he'll peek back again. It's so impossible.
Yeah.
That one-on-one is so hard to deal with. But the thing is the trade-off is that A is a really hard bomb site to take and get that plant on, and then fall back into the toilet safely, so you can get that situation. Whereas B, it's much easier to get the plant, but it's much harder to hold post plant than on A. So those are the two trade-offs you have. And when you look at this, we have a save here from Copenhagen Wolves, where they are going quite aggressive.
I mean, with all the T's actually going B, if they're quick enough here, they might be able to actually get a few frags from behind. But, ooh, Schneider, he's aware of what is trying to go on. The sneaky beaky play from the CTs, and he should be ready for back. She just gets completely owned.
That was really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
He's instantly killed by running CZ. Alrighty then. See, another round different. And I don't know, CPH Wolves, they seem incapable of winning that CT rounds. Obviously, they're saving there. But this is ridiculous right now, because how many rounds in a row has this been? This has been 7 in a row for Penta on the T side. That ain't normal.
That's the thing. We've seen them bring it back all the way from having 3 rounds. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. It's not being 7 in a row, but it's close enough. And we get the second save coming in here. Oh my God, they don't expect it. J, Kevin, Twist. They found themselves some guns. They got an AWP on Twist. That is devastating. Imagine if they had control of the bomb. That would be ridiculous, but they don't. So there is hope yet for Penta still, but they have to go fast towards B. I don't know why they're not moving faster right now, because most of the entire team was there, and they need to get that bomb down. Spiddy will be able to hold down connector for the time being, but there is a player in there still. So Spiddy is, oh wow, Spiddy is actually really far away. This is not so good actually, because Spiddy needs to help his teammates right now. He needs to get towards sewers to help set them up for that, to set up for the flank, the cover of the flank and the sewers area when the CTs can possibly come from there. And he can also be able to attack from that area as well. Spiddy's really far away. He's making his way down towards Monster, so he's going to rejoin his teammates. And they're all going to attack from one angle. This is this could be tough actually with Twist on the AWP, and if he's in a good spot, they could very well lose this round.
They really could do, and I mean, this is very interesting. The flank coming up from behind. Only 2 Ts left. They're aware that they're going to be pushing short. Crystal's trying to hold him off. He gets the one wall bang. Spring up gets the second. Oh, this is huge stuff, and it's all on Zende. He jumps to try to get past. Time is ticking away, but the bomb has gone down.
Oh my God, I can't believe that shot from Crystal was absurd. Such a fast takedown there of the AWP of Twist. Twist was the operating factor there for Copenhagen Wolves. If he just hits one shot there, that is just over. That's just over for Penta. But somehow Crystal just walks up and just wrecks everyone. That was so sick. Really, really clutch play from Crystal, to be honest. Otherwise, Copenhagen Wolves are going to 14 for sure. He's gonna die as well. Okay.
12-13, and I mean, this is just, it's wild to just think they've been able to even bring it back this far from the scoreline they were on, with only having 3 rounds, and just ripping through the defense of Copenhagen Wolves right now.
It is certainly surprising. Now, they get one more chance to stop an equalizing play to get to that 13-13 to Copenhagen Wolves. They can just win here and close it out. That is obviously what they're going to be aiming to do. And they must be. I wonder how they feel in the team right now. Of course, I'm sure they're very focused round by round, but this must have really sapped some of the momentum that they had going for them with the crazy 7 rounds in a row, whatever they had on their first half. They had really good momentum on the first half, but now things look more troublesome. It does seem like they have a lot less coordination on their CT sides. They had some nice toilet setups going into this round. It would be very, very good for them, but Crystal is back to the shenanigans here. This guy's been an absolute menace recently, looking for all that wallbang damage. It's very, very dirty plays there from Crystal, but it's been so effective. Twist will take down one, send it on the other side of the map, gets another of his zones, and now Copenhagen Wolves look like they're returning to form somewhat. Just Crispy left, and he is not going to be able to do much. I'm sorry to say, for those Penta fans, I'm pretty sure Crispy's not going to do much in this round.
No, in the 1-on-5 here, there's not really much you could expect him to do. He's just going to sort of sit there, just see if potentially he could find an exit frag, and then just try safety. Okay.
Counter-terrorists win.
And there it is. Counter-terrorists win. And Copenhagen Wolves finally get themselves on 14. It's been a while since they have tasted victory. But once again, they have been reminded of what it feels like. And, oh, would you look at this? Penta don't have any money. Penta do not have any money. If they lose this round, around which one player is stuck on a Tech 9, they are pretty much done.
Early short aggression from the CTs there. Oh, this could be terrible. Schneider does get one. Can you find the follow-up? It's going to be a huge pick early on.
So we have the T's looking to get themselves potentially into the B bomb slot. They have a player through Monster already. It is actually Crystal. He's honestly, I'm a bit afraid. I would be afraid if I was in Copenhagen Wolves' shoes, just to know that Crystal's been pushing so aggressively. But he does get grenaded back through to a safe place on Monster. No longer is he actually challenging the B site directly. They've got Zevis looking for some information. They feel very pressured now to do the CTs. They don't know what's going on. They don't know where the Ts are actually going because they've lost all map control to Penta. And they're down a man as well. There's a great spot from Zender. That's so important. We've been able to make that call to his teammates, but I think he did get spotted. So Penta will be aware of what happened, and they'll be able to try to play off of it. Zevis, you see, he's really tense right now. He's on the bomb site alone. He cannot die here. He's not making their way towards A.
Twist going massive there. 2 big frags before he finally gets dropped down. And the 3-on-2, they have to go huge. Turn it into the 2-on-2. They realise the bomb is heading towards that A site. Zevez, he's got to be quick on his feet now to rotate over whilst Crisby and Schneider, they're just trying to get to after plant positions.
We just have Rubino waiting for Zevez, and right now it's going to be very important if he gets the kill, and he does. So that possibility to get the defuse is actually alive right now, but it's all down to Schneider. Schneider's looking for the angle. Oh, this surely should be it. Oh, Rubino's going for the hold. Oh my goodness, he's going to get it. And that means very limited cash flow here for Penta into this next round. They did get the bomb down. You can see the difference that it made. The extra $800 is going to enable them to buy rifles, but not much of anything else apart from some Kevlars. So Copenhagen Wolves are now 1 away from moving on towards the qualifying round of this Cluj, Dreamhack Cluj pre-qualifier. Of course, Cluj, it will be the next major, and it will be happening not too far in the distant future. 2 majors quite close together, almost unprecedentedly so. we will have ourselves a nice couple kills on the defense from Copenhagen Wolves. PENTA looking pretty bad at the moment, trying to get themselves into a position where they can actually enter the bomb site. It's not happening so far. All these grenades from Copenhagen Wolves are successfully delaying them, successfully depositioning them from the angles that they want to move in. But here they go. They got to bully their way through the smoke. Stavros gets the opener right onto Rubinos, over by jungle, and now Speed's just waiting for that play. He knows he's in toilets, trying to support the bomber, but the bomb man walks out towards water. He drops that bomb straight in that water, and that is going to completely ruin the round and the chances. Oh my goodness, that is going to be PENTA out. They're knocked out of this pre-qualifier, and of course, we are going to have ourselves Copenhagen Wolves moving on through. So, interesting. Very interesting result. I expected them to do it, but I didn't think it would be so hard for them as it appeared to be.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, PENTA had 3 rounds on their first half, and they brought it back, and they just kept that train rolling for so long, and it looked like they were going to potentially be able to win it. Copenhagen Wolves just sort of crumbled towards the end there. They had no idea how to counter it, and then all of a sudden, they found out what they were doing wrong, and were somehow able to win out.
Alright guys, well, we will have one more best of 3, which will be the qualifying round. I believe we're doing the Hellraisers game. I think, is it Hellraisers SK?
It should be, yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. So that's actually, oh no, so yeah, I was thinking if that a rematch or a recent match, but no, it's Hellraisers reason I was thinking of. But anyway, Hellraisers game next, guys. So if you're all hype about Hellraisers and how well they did against Na'Vi recently, you won't want to miss this one. We shall see you after the break.
Well, this actually favours Copenhagen Wolves, really. They're still better off in this position. It just depends what they'll be able to do with it. If they'll be able to actually find another frag, get the entry into the site. They're worming towards B. A little bit of pressure over at mid. They're making their presence known.
It does look like they are gearing it up to bust in. And a quick smoke from a CT and a drop down into water. I wonder if it will provide the distance they need, but JChem will finally take down Schneider. And they do take the bomb site, and the bomb will be planted. That's a really big win, and JChem, he is connecting all day. He will not cease, and now it's looking pretty damn good here. JChem is just so awesome at the moment. Crystal, though, has got some awesome of his own to show, but he has to take down Twist if he wants to win this one-on-one and save the round. And time is of the essence. He does have the kit, though, and Twist will spot him. Rattle off a couple of shots, get his attention. Is he holding? He's got to go for the peak now. Gets Crystal off the defuse. This is a nightmare. Oh dear.
He was just toying with him there to stop him going on the bomb.
Yeah, not all that much really that can be done. It really tends to be the water area. If there's like a fully fledged push coming into the bomb site, if you've got an AWP and you're stuck there, it's hard to be all that useful. Whereas if you have a rifle, you can absolutely do a lot more dynamic movements to keep yourself alive and make some frags happen. So I feel like Copenhagen Wolves on the TT side, they're going to struggle more than PENTA, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, they were always very keen on that double AWP setup. That's sort of their go-to now and their way to actually hold PENTA back. So the CT side will be a bit interesting. But I mean, T side usually for them, they looked very crisp, very strong. They could get those entries, like especially with the site takes. They were very precise. So they might be able to find themselves a bit of an opener on this T side first off.
Funny thing is they were actually moving towards the bomb, but the take of Suez by just a couple players from Copenhagen Wolves actually distracted PENTA away from where the bomb was. So that was actually kind of a nice save that they didn't even probably expect that they were even doing, but it worked out for them. Copenhagen Wolves still with 5 left alive, still with the bomb towards the party area, or playground rather, looking to get that bomb towards the bomb site now.
I mean, right now in a 4-on-4.
Hello, it is time to, it's time to find ourselves on Overpass as we see who will actually best each other, because these two teams are very close. We've got PENTA battling it out so far. They've been doing quite well. PENTA definitely much better than I thought. I thought Copenhagen Wolves would stroll into this, and I thought that they would be playing in a really strong Counter-Strike. They'd be able to topple PENTA, but PENTA really stepping it up and showing that their strengths and individual skill can absolutely match the strengths and executes and some of the coordination we've been seeing from Copenhagen Wolves. So now it's all a mishmash of just general Counter-Strike, and I can't really separate one team from another. Will Overpass provide finally a playing field where one team clearly is the superior of the other? I wonder.
I mean, you never know, because I mean, it's been crazy how this has gone. Really, we've said it so many times, but there's been so many switches where it's all of a sudden Penta's looking so crisp and just ripping heads off, and then Copenhagen come in just looking crisp and ripping heads off, and these games have been so close to call that I don't even feel like it's coming down to the map anymore. It's just literally
for Crystal. Twist played that perfectly, and at least for Crystal he saves his Kevlar and his defuse kit. I guess that's something. Something's better than nothing. Couple Mac 10s. Always like seeing the Mac 10s out there. And triple AK to roll with as well. So would expect a pretty standard anti-eco setup. Penta, of course, decided to go for the Force. And they are holding around the toilets area with 3 players. Now that's going to be the hot zone for Penta if they want to get an early frag into the round and potentially pick up weapons. But as would be expected, this is an anti-eco strat. Copenhagen Wolves are taking to the long ranges. They're taking to distances whereby it's very hard for Penta to find cover, to kind of sneak up on them. It's very hard for them to hide behind any corners. There's nothing really going on there. It's just a couple trees, a couple boulders, and you get yourself onto the bomb site.
Jacob and Co. Working their way up along there. Trying to find the pick on there. They've got the advanced weaponry, and Twist gets the... At times, individual players just having those moments of flair where they can just really just go wild.
Yeah, it's been cool to see JChem. He's playing well. Of course, good stuff as always from Schneider. Crystal, about as expected. Twist also playing pretty darn well. I mean, it's individually across the board. I don't think there's been anything that's too horrendously surprising. On a map like this, we saw, previously we saw that Copenhagen Wolves on their CT sides, they want to get the double orbs rolling. It's quite viable to do it on this map. It really depends on the team that you're playing, to be honest, because I would say in the tier 1 level of Counter-Strike, top 6, top 8 teams, I would say it's very difficult actually to necessarily consistently make the double orb setup work. It used to be a thing when teams were less able to get the executes in there. It used to be much more viable, and it can still work, but because essentially the way that you would position it is have one of the AWPers around Monster and then one of them around the A side of the map, and that's how it would work. But the Monster AWPer these days is so vulnerable because of the way that teams can execute into the bomb site. You can't really fall back to cover, and you can't really fall back to the barrels. The safest position